Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, VBAC mama, and doula. Join us every episode to learn from professionals, special guests, and moms just like you, ensuring that you know what you need to know and discover things that you didn't know before. I believe in you. Let's doula this, and let's navigate the transition of entering motherhood together. Hey mama, this is another episode of the Entering Motherhood podcast. This specifically is a doula talk episode, which if you don't know, we go live on Instagram every Tuesday around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And by we, I mean me and Katelyn, who is the co-creator of our signature Own Your Birth childbirth education course. Please go look at that if you are looking for a childbirth education course. It's our signature Own Your Birth self-led online comprehensive course, and it is just packed with all the information that you will need to be able to feel informed and empowered as you navigate this stage of pregnancy and leading into birth and even the postpartum period. So we are so excited about that course, and we have been chatting and having these doula talks to provide you with more information to really own your birth and have information that maybe you didn't know or refresh your memory on things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you ever have any topics that you feel like you would want to add or hear, if you have any questions, then please reach out to us and let us know so that we can include it in these episodes and in these conversations that we are having for you to really feel informed and empowered. So let's get this episode started. Hello. We are popping on a little bit early today because it is spring break here at my house and there is a lot going on, but we wanted to come and talk with y'all and do our doula talk. So let me add Katelyn in here. She should be joining us any second. And we are talking about trusting your intuition and what that can look like and what that means, and just kind of talking about, what we mean by that and what it could look like for you. So, hi, Katelyn.
Hi. Yeah, this is something that I'm super passionate about, and I feel like it gets swept under the rug so much and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we haven't had this conversation and we haven't talked about this because I feel like it's something that typically comes up in
Yeah.
how we're talking and like how we're explaining things and, like navigating different parts of pregnancy and birth and into postpartum.
Yeah.
And like ultimately, we're always saying like that, like trust your intuition,
Yeah.
like you know what's best, but we're never solely talking about this topic itself.
I know. And when I thought about it this morning, I was like, surely we've done that. And then I was like, no, we haven't.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world? We just got to do this. Just because we have talked about it a fair amount just in other doula talks, but we've never just focused on it. And it's so important because I feel like, and I'm pretty sure I've definitely said this before, but when you just ignore your intuition, like you have these red flags or whatever, or green flag, like whatever it is, if you ignore it, that's when I feel like a lot of times moms go on to say, well, I wish I would have done this, or I regret doing this or not doing this, or whatever. And it breaks my heart because it's like a lot of this stuff could have been quote unquote prevented, but you were made to feel dismissed or ignored, or like you shouldn't worry about it when it's like your intuition was telling you otherwise,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and, like, I feel like it's even as basic as, just feel it like, before you can even take the pregnancy test,
Mhm.
you feel it in your gut, like, "I'm pregnant, like, I know that that was it, like,
Yeah.
I'm pregnant," or, like, if, like, before you find out the sex of the baby, if you're not
Mhm.
finding out the sex, you're like, "I think it's a girl," like, "I think it's a boy," whatever it is, like, you just have that knowing of,
Mhm.
like, "I don't know why, but I feel this certain way," and I think
Yeah.
it's like those little things that like there is something magical kind of going on within us that we are
Mhm.
able to tap into these intuitive hits and
Mhm.
feelings and things like that. So like it can just be like
Mhm.
little different things like even just like if you're feeling a little off and you're like, like I'm craving this or that, like it could like subconsciously almost be
Yeah.
telling you like you're lacking in a certain type of nutrient or vitamin or something like that, and,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
it's little things like that that, like, you're just tuning into yourself, you're trusting that intuition, and you're like, "Hey,
Mhm.
like, my body wants this for whatever reason, like, I'm just gonna go with it," or like,
Yep.
"Hey, like, I feel like, I just need to rest today. I feel
Mhm.
like, maybe I do need to go on a walk." Like, whatever it might be, like, you're just slowly tapping into those little tiny things, and I feel like it can
Mhm.
just go, like, such a long way in helping and you're like learning to listen to your body and then that just extends into birth and extends into postpartum because when you're in labor and you're going through all the motions when you can tap into that intuition and you can say like my body needs to move this way or like I need to like maneuver in a different way, you can like rely on that and like feed into that, past, like, "Oh, yeah, when I had this feeling before, it was true," or whatever it
Yeah.
might be, and, like, maybe you do need to shift or move your body a certain way because baby's descending and they need that space, or
Mhm.
whatever it might be,
Mm.
and then, standing firm in your decisions in postpartum and saying, like we've
Mhm.
talked about setting boundaries and
Yeah.
things like that, and, like, intuition really comes into all that, like, what you want the most and like what's going to be best for you and
Mhm.
when we can really pull on that intuition it just helps feed and reinforce our whole motherhood journey.
Yeah. Well, and, like, definitely you know yourself best, but you also know your baby best. And so intuition can, like you said, definitely transcend into postpartum because, when your baby's outside of your body, and even when you're still pregnant, this can be true too, but it's like something's off. Something's not right here. Like, I don't know what, but something's not right. And it's like just personal example because 'cause y'all know I love these. When Solomon was a baby, like, he was so colicky, he had terrible reflux, and I remember going to his doctor and saying, "Look, something's not right. I don't know if it's,
Mhm.
like, allergy related, I don't know if it's something I could be eating because I was breastfeeding," and she made me feel like an idiot. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And then Naomi had very similar things going on. We had a different doctor, and told me, he was like, "Change your diet. Just try it." And now I wish so badly that I would have changed my diet with Solomon, like, my intuition was telling me to, because Naomi's just completely cleared up with diet tweaks for me. Now, was it
Yeah.
hard going off of a lot of the foods that I love to eat? Yes, but it was worth it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not always like a provider specific thing. It can be literally anything. But just trusting your intuition and advocating for yourself and your baby and your family is you're not going to regret it. I can almost guarantee you that. Like, it's worth it. Do it. You're not gonna regret it because so many times we hear mamas saying, "I wish I would've,"
Yeah.
instead of, "I'm glad I
Yeah.
did." And you
Yeah,
hear
and it
both,
it def
but yeah.
yeah. And it doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be like,
Mhm.
you're like putting your foot down and like, I know that this is what I feel and whatever. Like I said, like it can be fun and free flowing and you can just kind of tap into it as a way of just navigating different obstacles or conversations and things like that. Like,
Yep.
if you feel uncomfortable with somebody around, like you in that like bubble, like while you're pregnant and like, hey, like this person just isn't sending the best vibes my way. Every time we talk about my pregnancy, I don't enjoy the conversation. Like that's your intuition, like just kind of saying like, hey, like let's give this person space during this time and let's focus on ourselves and really just kind of calling into that. And like same
Mhm.
in the postpartum period,
Yep.
there might be people that mean well or like really want to help, but like you're just like, I don't fully trust them around my baby, or like I
Mhm.
don't necessarily want them here when I'm in like such a vulnerable state. Like I don't want them to see me breastfeeding or whatever it might be. Like don't feel ashamed of those things or like embarrassed about those things. Like really just lean into it and know that your body is just having these responses and these reactions to sometimes just be serving you for the best. Like don't like push it away and be like, no, like I should let this person be here because they want to be. Like if you're just needing that bubble and that time and your body's intuitively just saying like I need space and I need to be like just with my family unit, then yeah, just embrace
Yep.
that and don't let that shame or whatever other emotions are coming up. Really just kind of like lean into it and embrace it.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways that this can be approached too, like, I tend to be a little bit more of, like, a confrontational person, and I don't really mind saying, "No, you're not coming," or, whatever. To certain people, it's harder for other
Mm,
people, but if that's not you, that's okay too. Like, there's many different ways to navigate this. You could either have your husband talk to him, or you could have like, just say, "We're not up for it right now," or,
right.
just kind of push it off. Like, it doesn't have
Right.
to be, "Absolutely not. You're never meeting
Right.
this baby."
Right.
That's not what you're saying at all.
Yeah, you can
You're
even
literally
say,
just
like, the
saying
doctor
anytime.
said to limit, the number of people that are coming into the house. Like, put it on somebody
Yeah.
else if, like I said, like, if you don't feel like you want to have that, like, put on you. But
Mhm.
also, yeah, like, stand firm in your decisions and know that, like, you're having these feelings and that you're, you know, leaning into your intuition for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, even going off of, like, the doctor said situation, it could be like babies have weak immune systems where, you know, just going with that. You could literally phrase it a million different ways to where it's not on you. So, yeah, just get creative sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. But yeah, we really just wanted to make this a point to call out trusting your intuition and talk about intuition very intentionally because we talk about it so often, but we've never done a doula talk.
yeah,
So, we want to know, what ways you've, fall like trust it in your intuition, what ways, you're learning to listen to your intuition, what, techniques have helped you. I always say, like, it's just, like, little things at a time, like, even just, like, picking out what outfit you wanna wear that
yeah,
day and, like, saying, like, like, let me just kind of cruise through my clothes and just, like, intuitively pick something, and maybe that day it's, like, you end up matching with somebody and they're like, "Hey, like, where'd you get that shirt?" Or, "How'd you get that hoodie?" Like, "I did this race," or,
yeah,
whatever it might be. Like, it's just like you're just falling into that and you're like following
mhm,
these little like breadcrumbs and these little steps and these things. And it's like it's all, meant to be that way because you're leaning into it. And it doesn't have to be like as woo-woo as like, maybe I'm making it sound. It can just be like little things too. But we
yeah,
think it's like so important and we really wanted to have this conversation and really bring y'all into it and hear from you because we want to know, which ways you're listening to your intuition and how it's helped you throughout pregnancy and your birth and how you feel it's going to be in postpartum or if you've already had children, how it's helped you and how you've seen it really expand into what it can be.
yeah. For sure, for sure. And, if like we've said before, if there's a topic you're just dying to hear us talk about, definitely let us know. Our inboxes are open, the comments are open. We love hearing from y'all. So just let us know what y'all are thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so thanks for joining. And if you're watching the replay or if you're listening to it on the podcast, then, always reach out to us. Katelyn and I are more than happy to chat and talk and answer any questions that you have and bring up different conversations in these doula talks.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a fun spring break.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See you later, mamas.